Hi guys, CivilianSnowman here, and this video is going to be my top 10 films of 2009, and I just want to start by saying Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you had a great 2009, and I hope you all have a great 2010. So let's take a look back at what I consider to be the best movies of the year. Okay, so first, number 10. My 10th favourite film of the year is Kathryn Bigelow's The Hurt Locker. I think it's a kind of surprise action film. War movies have become kind of a tired genre in my opinion, but I think that Kathryn Bigelow manages to take an original approach by focusing on the addiction to war, the addiction to adrenaline, and I think that is something that we haven't really seen before to this extent in a movie. Also, I think that the main actor, Jeremy Renner, who's playing the lead in the movie, is absolutely brilliant and deserves an Oscar nomination for his part. So I highly recommend The Hurt Locker. It is a really enjoyable action movie. Number 9 is Terminator Salvation, a film which a lot of people had lots of problems with, and don't get me wrong, I have lots of problems with this movie as well, but I thought for what it is, it's a really enjoyable action film. It's one of the films that I enjoyed watching most this year, and even though it's really flawed and has a lot of problems with it, and there are a lot of improvements that could have been made, I do think it's infinitely enjoyable, especially the third act. I think the third act features some of the best action we've seen all year, and I'm not really into action movies unless it shows me something I haven't really seen before. So I thought the action at the end of Terminator Salvation was handled really well. I thought all the actors did really well, especially special mention to Anton Yelchin, who plays Kyle Reese. Thought he channeled Michael Biehn from the original films, and he's the standout performance of the film. So I do recommend you pick up Terminator Salvation. If you get the Blu-ray, you get the director's cut, which features all of the kind of uncut footage, like the topless shot of Moonblood Good and a scene with a screwdriver being stabbed through someone's chest. And while it sounds like it could be gratuitous, it really isn't. It actually makes the film run a lot smoother, those added bits. So I'd recommend the director's cut of Terminator Salvation. Number 8 is Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell. I wasn't too keen on the film when I first saw it in the cinema and reviewed it. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was, but I didn't think it was anything special. However, after repeat viewings, I really appreciate it a lot more for what it is, because it is absolutely brilliant. And I mean, especially to see Sam Raimi return to the horror genre after he did the Evil Dead trilogy, which are some of my favourite films. I think Drag Me to Hell is a really worthy addition to his canon of horror. But the film is really enjoyable, and it's my number 8 of the year, so that's Drag Me to Hell. Number 7 is the only film which I don't have because I saw it at the cinema recently. It's only just been released over here, and that is Spike Jonze's Where the Wild Things Are. It's his adaptation of Maurice Sendak's fabled children's book, and the film itself I thought was absolutely just gorgeous. It was a gorgeous experience in every sense of the word. The first act of the movie I thought is a masterpiece. It was building up to a masterpiece, and while the second and third acts don't live up to the potential of the first, it still maintains an emotional edge and still draws you in. As I said during my review, it's not a kids film, it's a film for people who have been kids, and it's like a look back on childhood and that feeling of losing your childhood, and it's a feeling that resonates with me because I mean I'm only 19, so it's not that long ago that I kind of lost my childhood. So watching this movie really took me back, and I thought it was just a beautiful experience. So I highly recommend Where the Wild Things Are to anyone. It's not a conventional film by any stretch of the imagination. It's really dark, and it has long scenes where people could accuse it of having not much happening, but it's really more about the emotions rather than the narrative, so I highly recommend Where the Wild Things Are. Number 6 is J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. I'm not going to say too much about this movie because, I said everything I needed to say in my review, but it is a popcorn film, to be honest. But I just think it's fantastic how J.J. Abrams managed to take a franchise which has become the butt of everyone's joke in recent years and turn it into something good. He really manages to inject that feeling of adventure that the original Star Wars trilogy gave us as audience members, and does it really well. The cast is brilliant. Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto as Kirk and Spock respectively. Those two guys are the next big things in Hollywood, I reckon. I think they're absolutely brilliant. The film is brilliant. If you're on the fence about picking it up, definitely do. You won't regret it. It's brilliant. So that's Star Trek. Number 5 is Zack Snyder's adaptation of Watchmen. This is the director's cut, a version of the film which I think is definitely better than the theatrical cut because it's smoother and the scenes play a lot better with the added little character moments. The film itself, if you've read the graphic novel, it essentially is the graphic novel. It's a straight up adaptation, almost identical, and people have complained about it, but you're not going to get a more faithful adaptation of Watchmen. I think it's brilliant. I love the graphic novel, love the film. Zack Snyder's stylistic touches are a bit self-indulgent at times, but apart from that, I think it's a great film. Highly recommend picking it up. Basically, it takes a look at superheroes if they were real people and had, you know, like personality disorders, basically. So yeah, it's definitely worth picking up. On Blu-ray, it looks fabulous. So that's Watchmen, the director's cut. Number 4 is District 9. As you can see here, I've got it in the Steelbook, the Region 2 exclusive Steelbook. District 9, I think, is a very, very good sci-fi movie. It's kind of original. The story's kind of original take on it, and I see it as being quite realistic. Like, if aliens did come to our planet, I can imagine this happening, as sad as that is. As sad as it, you know, that says some really bad things about us as humans, but I think it's kind of a realistic take on the alien kind of invasion story, even though it's not really an invasion. And the action is handled really well. The acting in it is great. Sharlto Copley, I think his name is, as Vickers, the main character, absolutely brilliant. I can't really say anything else about the film without giving it away because you really want to go in not knowing about it. So I just highly recommend any fans of sci-fi or action or even drama, go pick up District 9, you won't regret it. Number 3 is a film that may shock some of you that it's even on the list, but I absolutely love it, and it is Knowing, the Alex Proyas sci-fi movie. Now, I did a review of this and had to defend the movie because, lots of online critics have just slammed it as being a piece of shit, but Roger Ebert said that it was one of the best films of the year as well. Before I read his review, I thought it was one of my best of the year. Go back and watch my review, even though it's really old now and quite embarrassing. It's a really good film. I think it kind of addresses the conflict between science and religion in an original way. It kind of manages to give a scientific explanation for the origin of religion. It's just a cracking film. Not only is it entertaining, you can watch it on different levels. You can sit back and just be entertained, switch your brain off, or you can engage with it and get something out of the film because it is multi-layered. So there's something for everyone. I highly recommend Knowing to even a general audience, like not just the sci-fi or action movie buffs. I recommend it to anybody, so that's Knowing. Number 2, now my second favourite film of the year is Moon, directed by Duncan Jones. I thought that this was just a really nice throwback to the old sci-fi from like the 70s, like Solaris and 2001: A Space Odyssey. I especially love the use of models rather than CG in the movie. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's gorgeous to look at on Blu-ray and features what I think it should be an Oscar-winning performance by Sam Rockwell. He should definitely get Best Actor for this movie. If you want to know why I think that, go check out my review, but Moon is definitely one of the best films of the year and my second favourite of the year. So time for my number 1 favourite film of the year, and you've probably guessed it. You've probably been thinking, well, where is it? You know, why hasn't he mentioned blah blah blah? Well, here it is. It is Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds. This is a film that is absolutely brilliant. I gave it 4 stars in my review, I think, but I should have given it 5, as that applies to Moon as well. I think Inglourious Basterds is absolutely fantastic. It really is an exercise on how to use dialogue as a weapon and build tension. An astonishing film. I'm not going to say too much about it. Go check out my review if you want my full thoughts on it. It's brilliant. It should get an Oscar for Christoph Waltz for Best Supporting Actor. He's amazing in it as Colonel Hans Lander. It's mainly a series of scenes, dialogue-focused scenes, and then they all culminate in a massive clusterfuck at the end. But it is absolutely amazing, and like I said, it's an exercise in tension. It'll keep you on the edge of your seat throughout. Highly recommend it to anyone. That's Inglourious Basterds. So that was my top 10 films of 2009. Please leave comments and let me know what you think. Let me know what your top 10 films are. Really interested to know. So thanks to those who subscribe and comment and rate. You're all absolutely brilliant, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. So this is CivilianSnowman signing out. I'll see you later. Bye.